Today on Queensland Weekender, we prove that kids don't need theme parks or five-star resorts to have a great holiday.
How good was that?
It's good old-fashioned fun, Moreton Island style.
Yeah, the kids know how to fish.
Action, stunning views and sensational sunsets. Stick around to see what all the fuss is about. Well, hello again and welcome to Queensland Weekender for another Saturday. Fantastic to have your company. Well, this is something that we've been trying to put together for a long time, and that's a big family adventure.
We've done plenty of boys' weeks away, haven't we? But nothing like this.
Yeah, fantastic. And in some way, shape or form, these kids all connected to us.
Us. I can't believe it. Looks like there's a tribe here.
It's quite amazing, isn't it? Now, kids, gather around because I've got a bit of news for you. This week, no television, no video games, no iPods, no iPads, no Game Boys, no electricity where we're going. How do you feel about that? They're stunned silence.
And no phone, best of all. No text, no phone noise, no one ringing me. Fantastic.
We're going on holidays like Andrew and I went on holidays as kids.
Are you excited? All right, let's go and do something.
Come on, let's go.
We're holidaying on the second largest sand island in Australia. It feels like we're a million miles from anywhere, but Moreton Island is only 40 kilometres from Brisbane.
I am a Moreton tragic. I've been bringing the kids to this magical place since they were born. For us, the trip over on the Mycat ferry is part of the adventure. The 75-minute journey gives us enough time to let the air out of the tyres, pick up some supplies and introduce the Mirosh mob to one of the Miller family Moreton must-dos. Well, there you go.
There you go, guys.
Perfect.
Smiley pies all round.
Well, you know you're on holidays when it's 9 in the morning and you're sharing a pie with the kids, don't you?
Yeah, it's the breakfast of champions, isn't it?
Sure is.
Day trippers can walk on and walk off Mycat, but if you're driving, four-wheel drive is engaged the moment you hit the beach, and that's the way it stays because there are no sealed roads. Before you arrive, keep in mind you'll need to sort out permits to be able to bring the 4B and also to camp.
Don't drop it. Lots of paper is really good in your esky. It stops the things melting. It makes the cold air stay in.
Beniwa is one of 5 Moreton Island National Park campgrounds. Preparing for a week away with this many troops could be enough to put you off going in the first place. If this sounds familiar, or you're an inexperienced camper, we've found a way to take the muscle out of camping.
Everybody settled now? Good to see you on your tents.
For more than 10 years, Tom from Moreton Bay Escapes has been leading expeditions and providing a campsite for tour and school groups visiting the island. But the business is evolving. So traditionally it's been the realm of sort of school holiday excursions or school excursions or field trips, that sort of thing, but now you're opening it up to whoever wants to come.
We've always provided everything for everyone, whereas this is more of an accommodation style thing where you can just come over as if you were staying in an apartment up the sunny coast, bring your four-wheel drive and your food, and everything else is here for the grassroots of what you're going to do.
Never plan to get anywhere in a hurry over here. Day trips need to be worked out around low tide, and beach and track conditions are unpredictable. But that's all part of the adventure. And let's face it, with scenery like this, who wants to be rushing? It's a 40-minute run from our campsite to Yellow Patch, a top spot for eager anglers, but first we need some bait.
You know what we use these for? Catching whiting. They're the best whiting bait and brim bait in the whole ocean. That's quite a big one.
They say that you can judge a bloke's manliness and fishing prowess by how he pulls a worm. Andrew is a seasoned sandwormer, so I think I'll swallow my pride and leave it up to him.
A really good trick with them is to keep them dry. So what we do, look for some really nice soft powdery sand, you roll the worms in it, like that, and you take a lot of the moisture out of them. A really good tip is to wrap them in newspaper, like grab a handful of sand like that, wrap them in newspaper, put them in the warmest part of your esky. Don't put them on ice or whatever. Put them up the top in a corner and they'll keep for 3 or 4 days and you'll catch more whiting and flathead than you know what to do with.
Let's hope that's the case for us. Now, Andrew may have worked as a commercial fisherman, but I'm not so sure about this technique.
To me, this is the ultimate way to fish with kids. It's called set and forget. Bit of PVC pipe, cast your line out, put the drag on, walk away, check it every few minutes. When it's bent, there's a fish on it. Send the kids down and wind it in.
See, I just don't get that. It's like having a shower with a raincoat on. I mean, you can take the boy out of commercial fishing, but you can't take commercial fishing out of the boy.
You're saying we were lazy.
Well, no, but what about the thrill of the bite? You know,
no.
the sand between your toes, the sun setting and the...
This is about fishing with kids. They're playing footy on the beach, set a few rods, whiting jumps on. Lily, wind your line in. It's a thrill of their lives, you know? Like, short attention spans like me, most kids. Well, you can stand here all day and go kick the footy of the kids.
All right, I'll keep an eye on those rod tips.
No, don't worry. Put him down. Hey! Butterfingers.
It seems that the fish are on holidays as well, but that doesn't faze us. After just one day on the island, all of the realities of life on the mainland sink with a magic Moreton sunset. It's a stunning morning on Moreton Island, and the Miller-Marosh family adventure continues.
Hey, look, how good do I look? Blue, orange, skin tight, fashion. Smoking.
Yep, nothing like a daggy dad donned in lycra to embarrass the kids.
So you know the best way to clean your mask?
Oh, gross. Spits of breakfast.
I cleaned my teeth before we came, thanks very much. But you do that, and you rub it all around, and then you rinse it out, of course, and then you're ready to go. Snorkelling around the rusting holes of the Tangalooma Wrecks is a family favourite on Moreton Island. We've hooked up with the gang from Get Wet Sports.
The vessels were deliberately sunk to form an artificial harbour for boaties. In turn, it's created an underwater ecosystem that's teeming with marine life.
So that was good, wasn't it?
Yes.
Who would have thought the Tangalooma Wrecks would hold that many fish? What are we going to do now?
Canoeing.
Canoeing. Canoeing, let's go. Grab your canoe.
This is really a special trip for me. It's been 4 years since I've had a holiday like this, and I reckon that when you're looking to reconnect with a family, you can't beat an island-style getaway.
It's funny, isn't it? There seems to be this notion now that you've got to take your kids to Disneyland or you've got to take them to Asia to experience culture or something. You know, there's no better family time, no better quality time than a camping holiday. And I like doing a holiday like this as well, where you hook up with another family and everyone brings something to the party.
I bring the food, you bring... What did you actually bring?
I know what I brought. Local knowledge and traditions are what I bring. I've already introduced the Marosh family to the My Cat Smiley pie tradition. Now we move on to the Bulwer store for tradition numero duo.
What's the history of Double Ice Cream Day?
It started at this very shop. How did it start, Jordan?
Well, we were just having an ice cream as usual, and Dad really liked his ice cream, and he said, oh, okay, so today I'm going to have another one. So it's going to be officially
double ice cream. That's not true. What happened was, you know how kids always say, can we have another one at the end?
Yeah.
I just turned around at them and said, yes, you can. And they were like stunned mullets.
That's right.
So double ice cream. And now, anytime we have an ice cream, particularly here at Moreton.
Well, they've asked again today, so I'm going to modify the game a bit, and we're going to go heads or tails. And if they lose, they've got to do the dishes for the rest of the week. If they win, they get double ice cream day.
That's a great idea. Are you all in?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's toss the coin and see what happens, shall we? They've called tails. The great thing about spending a solid chunk of time away is that you don't have to squeeze 1,000 activities into your day, so there's plenty of time for hanging campside. So I've got some news from the outside world. Seems that the Earth does continue to revolve, even though we're here at Camp Moreton. We've got Andrew Mirosh on the tools as usual. He's preparing some lunch for the kids, and anybody with 10-year-old boys knows when you go camping, somebody's got to play fire warden, because that's all they want to do all day, so that's my job.
I reckon there are lots of DS-addicted kids these days that have never played a board game, let alone heard of good old Pass the Pigs. It's simple things like this that really bring the family together, and so does the cooking.
Come on, guys, I'm not a galley slave. I need some help with lunch. I need 3 assistants. Who have I got? 1, 2, you.
Andrew, remember they're just kids, not your staff back in the restaurant. But hey, what a wonderful opportunity to get some hot tips from an executive chef.
Flatten them out. Very important to have toasted buns with hot dogs. Nothing worse than soggy buns.
Look at this, it's like a feeding frenzy. Put an arm in it and you might lose it. Now, what do you need? You want some sauce? Don't go anywhere. After the break, we're taking the kids to the Cape. Well, guys, I reckon this has got to be the highlight of any Moreton Island adventure, a trip to the lighthouse. Look. "98% of Moreton Island is National Park, making it a remote camping and four-wheel drive destination. Sand tracks through the interior link both sides of the island, and even though they're cleared by rangers, they can be challenging to traverse. But a trip to Cape Moreton on the northeastern side of the island is definitely worth a trek." So guys, that's the beach we've been driving on, look. The Cape itself is the only part of Moreton that isn't made of sand, and the views are breathtaking. Well, guys, I reckon this has got to be the highlight of any Moreton Island adventure, a trip to the lighthouse, the oldest lighthouse in Queensland, built in 1857. It's almost as old as Andrew.
What's it built from, Grandpa?
Fair call, I deserved that, but to answer your question, Mr. Mirosh, it's made from local sandstone, was built by convicts, and it's still in use. Oh, there we go.
Whales. There's everywhere, 2 different.
Oh, look, just here in front.
There's one there as well.
Oh, wow.
This is the best whale-watching seat in the house. These are a few stragglers at the tail end of their annual migration. Queensland Park Ranger Kieran Lusk experiences magic moments like this daily. He's only been here 6 months, and now Cape Moreton is his backyard.
I'm green with envy. Not only do you have the job I always wanted to do, but you have the house with the best position in the world where I'd like to be living right now.
Mate, I still pinch myself every day. I consider myself one of the luckiest blokes alive.
I agree with you.
It's a magnificent spot to come home to this every day.
Yep.
The views, the pristine peacefulness of the place, it's just magical.
And you got your family with you as well, so it's even better.
Yes, I have my partner Sam, and we've got a 2-month-old boy, Ellery.
Jeez. You came from Alice Springs or from Ayers Rock?
Ayers Rock, Uluru. Right. Yeah, I spent about 8 years out there working in the red dust.
The big change, isn't it? The dust to the ocean, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so, but When you think about it, they're both pretty isolated spots.
Yeah.
I loved the wide open space of Uluru and the flowing sand dunes. I mean, they were red out there, but coming here, it's wide open space and sand dunes, and it's quite isolated as well.
You're a lucky bugger.
I know, I know.
So we are moving to a lighthouse, you and I.
The island itself is an incredible place. It was formed by this rocky headland we're standing on. The longshore drift brought the sand and piled it all up on the coast, and it's formed this fantastic island. So I'm doing that must have taken tens of thousands or millions of years, I reckon.
Millions of years, yeah. And it's a process that's still going on today, Andrew.
Yeah.
I mean, every day you go down the beach, it's different. The flow of the ocean is changing the sands as it goes along. The wind's blowing the sand across the island.
You can see that today, can't you? It's just fabulous.
So it's a process still in motion now.
One thing that hasn't changed is that Moreton Island is a complex and fragile environment. Over 180 bird species have been recorded here, and the osprey which breed on the island are considered to be vulnerable in southeast Queensland.
Now, if you've had enough salt water pulse through your veins, there are a few freshwater lakes that you can visit. Not far from Cape Moreton, just off the eastern beach, you'll find the largest and most easily accessible. Well, this is another one of those amazing bodies of water on this sand island that make it a paradise, and it's got the right name. This is the Blue Lagoon, and the kids have been banging on since they got their smiley pie on the MyCat about coming here and having a swim. It's a great place for the kids at the end of the day to wash the salt off. The parents can sit by and have a bit of quiet time, which is what I'm going to do.
Another day.
While we're on the eastern side of the island, we can't help but wet a line before heading back to camp.
I reckon if you've got a fish, it doesn't even know it's hooked yet. Oh, yep, you got a fish. Keep it coming, hold your rod up. Oh, look at it, you're in the water. It's a little dart. Now walk back a little bit. There you go, Jake. A beautiful little Moreton Island dart. You know, as a kid, we used to live at Straddie and we'd go down Main Beach all the time, and my granny would take me fishing for these things, and they are delicious. So well done. How many spotter is he? There you go, mate. You want to eat him? You chip off the old block. Go and put him in the esky, lots of ice, and we'll look after him. We'll have him for dinner tonight, eh? Come straight back, we'll get another one.
You know, that's the great thing about fishing in Eastern Beach, like this one here at Moreton. You don't have to have good fishing gear. You don't have to have any fishing experience whatsoever. Just need a hook, a bit of bait, an old pole, and you can normally rustle up a feed.
And catch a feed. We've done that tonight.
Yeah, done all right, haven't we?
Well, Jake has.
Went out fished by your son.
It's the way, isn't it?
There we go. Righto, mate, that's time. Time, please. Time, please. All over. We've hit the ground running this morning on Moreton with an early fishing session. Andrew and I are determined to catch a feed, but it seems like we've been outdone by the kids once again. I don't know, kids, we can't find a gutter to save ourselves, so maybe you guys better find one for us, eh? Go and have a look.
Yep, you know the holiday's over when you empty the worm bag, don't you?
Yeah, that's for sure.
It's the last thing to do.
Well, the holiday isn't over quite yet. It's time to engage our inner four-wheel drive and head for the hills. Everybody ready to lift the adrenaline ante a little bit?
The sandhills of a spot called the Desert are a playground for thrill seekers.
Elbows up. Hey, 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 hey. Andrew, I know you love a punt, so they're in the starter's hands. The red light is flashing.
No worries.
Gates are open and they're away, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, he missed the jump.
No, you missed the jump, absolutely. Harrison Miller by 3 lengths in the Moreton Island handicap. Oh, I've got sand in places I've never had it before, I swear.
Dino, you're about to get it wedged in more nooks and crannies than you knew existed.
Oh, we are definitely too old for this. You all right, mate? That's his own stunt work. I don't know whether it's the salt air or the excessive exercise that makes one hungrier than normal when at the beach. Ooh, can everybody smell that? Smells great, Andrew. What I do know is that Andrew hasn't let me into the camp kitchen once this trip. Should I take that personally, or is it just a chef thing?
A really good tip when you go camping is go to your butcher, get them to vacuum pack all your meat up, freeze it 2 or 3 days before, get it really, really frozen and keep it in esky. It'll keep for 3 or 4 days in that state. Every day, just pull out what you need, let it thaw and away you go.
Just because you're camping doesn't mean you have to slum it. For me, it's important to eat well, and that doesn't mean 5-star restaurant quality. I'm talking tasty, simple food anyone can cook. For our last dinner, I'm going for an exotic flavour with an Aussie twist.
All right, boys, you've got damper duty tonight. We're going to make a beautiful chicken curry. I need something nice to go with it. Oh, you're doing pretty well, boys. Bring it together. Well done. There you go, boys. 30 minutes. We'll cover it with coals. It should be nearly edible. Shower time.
Yeah.
Off you go.
Okay, kids, dinner's on. Let's go. Yeah, ready for the onslaught? Okay, pass those plates around. Where it stops, nobody knows.
This is the best dinner ever.
Yeah. What a wonderful week we've had. If we've inspired a trip to this beautiful part of Queensland, then get in touch with the team at MyCat. Their website is loaded with information on timetables, tide times, and all things Moreton Island. You can also book your vehicle access permit through MyCat, but if you want to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, jump onto this website and book both your vehicle and camping permits at once. And if you're looking for a hassle-free camping experience, then get in touch with Tom from Moreton Bay Escapes. Mate, awesome week.
My best family holiday ever, I reckon.
Yeah, but here we are now waiting for the MyCat. You know, they reckon this is misery beach because no one ever wants to leave Moreton
I've
Island.
got tears. The Razor's going to be working on Wednesday, and I don't want to do it.
The kids are miserable. We've got all that work cleaning the car ahead of us.
Sure do.
It's worth the effort, though, hey?
Ah, it was. The kids like to bring 3 families together, and just do what we did. I just want to keep doing it.
I hope you've enjoyed our Moreton Island adventure. That's all we've got time for today. Have a fantastic week, and we'll see you next Saturday for more Queensland Weekender. Bye for now. Our show is produced in partnership with Tourism Queensland, RACQ and Queensland Rail Travel. Our vehicles are supplied and serviced by the Motorama Group. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Cheers!